An entire bag of jelly beans.
You know what? I'm keeping that in. Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another RWBY discussion. I am your only mate, and with me, as always, is...
Why would you keep that? Max, a few trades. And I'm laughing to hide the pain.
I don't know. I hit record. You said that so randomly, and I thought, you know what? Screw it.
All right, fine, whatever. Yeah, we're here. It's a RWBY discussion, people. We're talking about Volume 8, Episode 7. Oh, don't let our jovial nature fool you. This episode is depressing as hell.
Awesome, yet depressing.
Yep, we'll get to it when we get to it. Let's enjoy the fun parts until it gets to the sad parts.
Yep, and we're starting off with Pietro, turning up Amity Arena while also coughing. So that's still a thing. He hasn't done that in a while.
Yeah, no, but he's still definitely sick or dying or something to that general combination.
Yeah. And all the while, Penny's calling him from in the mines, saying, I don't think this doesn't seem like a very good idea, while she's sitting in front of a bomb.
Yeah, they're gonna blow up this entire dust mine.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't help but laugh at Penny saying, this isn't a good idea, while sitting in front of explosives.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, generally sitting in front of explosives that you are about to arm isn't a good thing, but it's something that needs to be done. Because basically the whole idea is, all right, we're going to set these the boosters on Amity Arena, or Amity Tower, whatever, and launch it into space, but we need more push, so obviously blow up an entire dust mine.
I mean, when you're sitting on top of it, then, yeah, why not? Also, Maria in a giant exosuit.
Yeah, she is definitely rocking that exosuit. She is a very helpful old lady.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah, we'll get into the awesomeness of Maria later. When the time comes. But yeah, the plans are, for all things, all intents and purposes, are going rather well.
Yeah.
Even though, other than the exploding part, but, that's all going according to plan, for now. How many bombs do you think there were in total? My goodness.
I don't know.
Anyway, so Penny's got some ideas of her own, and she wants to do some certain things, but...
Pietro's
No. I did know his name this time. I think it's stuck.
Hey,
Pietro,
you did it.
Yeah, but Pietro's like, nah, man, you don't get it. I am your father, and I say no. And Penny's all like, pout. And Maria's all like, bruh. And Pietro's all like, don't be giving me that guff, old woman. And, I mean, you can criticize that summarization all you want, but I'm not wrong.
No, you are not wrong.
But yeah, Penny is getting all manner of free will and wanted to do her own thing, and everyone says no, unnecessary risks. We're definitely not going to be dealing with any of that noise, and I'm sure that won't play a role in anything later in the episode at all.
Yeah. Well, in some good news, the stabilizers work.
They do. It's good. So they're gonna launch.
Oh, and I love how Pietro says, I didn't have time to install any seatbelts, so...
He didn't.
You might want to hold on.
You might want to buckle your pants, people.
By the way, how was that for a Pietro voice?
Surprisingly better than I thought it would be, and that's not just for you, in the sense that, wow, I didn't expect you to be any good at that. It was more so, that's an incredibly difficult voice to be able to replicate, and I didn't expect your register to be able to imitate it so well, so kudos.
Hey, so if anyone making a RWBY Abridged is watching, consider me for Pietro.
Give it a try. You might be surprised. Anyway,
Maybe.
Cinder's here now.
I don't know. I should stop doing that.
I don't know. Yeah, you probably should. Cinder's here. She's throwing fireballs.
Yeah. Also, get used to...
She's a crazy woman with absolutely no plan whatsoever. And she's ready to fight.
Also, get used to hearing me talk about Death Battle in this, because seeing this giant hole that Cinder made,
Yeah?
I can't stop but thinking, okay, but how powerful was that?
Relatively. And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, that's not the most impressive thing we see a character do in this episode.
Oh, I know. And, yeah, if anything, something this episode did was give the RWBY series a whole big buff in that regard.
Yeah, but again, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
Cinder is an angry lass right now, but there's no time for sass because the whole dang mine just exploded.
Mm-hmm. And that is a gorgeous looking explosion.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would hope it would look good, but
I mean, you're blowing up all different kinds of dust, so.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have to just very quickly say, I have to question how it managed to make Penny slam back to the ground like that. I get she probably wasn't adjusted for the takeoff or anything, but still, I feel like the thrusters should have at least kept her aloft a little bit. I don't know. I feel like out of everyone in that room, Penny should have had the best chance of not getting incapacitated that way. Whereas Cinder just kind of was like, and she was immediately down for more fighting.
Oh yeah, now you say it.
I don't know. It's good for drama and tension, so that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to Ironwood and the Aesops, and you actually see a little map show where, like, the whale and Amity are.
Yeah, he's definitely got some tabs on some things. That's good. Yeah. I mean, good in a relative sense. I don't mean it's good because, I mean, you know, Ironwood's kind of a terrible person, but you know.
At least right now.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, Cinder is preparing for war, and that involves creating a lot of very, very pointy sticks.
As, you know, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Sticks made out of glass, remember?
Yeah, and we've got ourselves another maiden fight.
In this corner, the Full Maiden, and in this corner, the Winter Maiden.
One of these is, if I'm being perfectly honest, actually both of these characters, not the greatest win records. One of these losers is finally gonna win.
Yeah, but in comes Maria in the exosuit for the assist.
And it is pretty damn glorious. This is the first step of awesomeness that is from Maria. And then she decides to quote Alien, of all things. Are you aware of that reference? Have you ever seen Alien?
No, I have not, but I know the reference.
Okay, so you've at least seen enough of the scene to know that that's what that is.
Yeah, also the exosuit, the quote. Yeah, it all ties together. It makes sense.
Yeah, the exosuit, powerlifter, quote's nearly the same, but it gets cut off because Neo is a bad driver. I'm aware of the fact that she actually rammed her intentionally, but the point stands. I like to think she didn't mean to do that, and it was just serendipitous. And maiden fight! Lots of flying.
Yeah, as, you know, is to be expected.
And seeing as how Cinder and Cinder and Penny fly away so quick, Emerald's just like, all right, how do I help? I guess I don't. I'll just wait here.
Or I'll help Neo.
Yeah, basically. And she's basically arm wrestling a spaceship with a power loader, and that is kind of amazing.
That is, yeah.
Bonk.
And then Emerald decides, hey, remember my illusion semblance?
Yeah, turns out it's really freaking annoying.
Yeah. Able to mask a giant hugging ship.
It's true. Although, luckily, at the very bare minimum, Maria is, well, let's just call her seasoned, why don't we, you know?
Yeah, she's still okay.
She's fine, but she was also able to, like, okay, well, that's not normal. What could be doing that? Scans the area, sees Emerald being all ominous and waving her arms like a weird little wizard lady. Probably her. That's all I'm trying to say. And now, I gotta be honest, I'm not entirely sure why Neo decides to get out of the ship, but you know what? Considering the scene that ultimately happens, I'm okay with with it all because it's pretty great.
Also, I'm pretty sure that ship doesn't have weapons.
That's true, but she could have rammed it again.
True, but what if she, like, damaged it beyond the point where they could fly away?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, You gotta think about these things. And then Neo turns into RWBY.
And then Neo turns into RWBY because I guess she really does hold a lot of resentment towards RWBY for some reason. I sort of get it, but at the same time, RWBY didn't do it.
Well, I mean, Neo doesn't know that.
Yeah, I guess she wouldn't have any way of being able to really figure out the truth.
Yeah, like, from her perspective, like, she got launched off the ship, and then...
And just never saw Torchwick ever again.
Yeah, just found his hat, and just realized he was dead.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, you'd think, after a while, you'd figure, well, he probably would have contacted me. Okay, yeah, I guess so. The last thing she ever saw was them fighting, and she's found RWBY, but not Torchwick. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like, I don't think she would immediately go to... You know what? Torchwick probably got eaten by a Grim.
Fair enough. That did come out of absolutely nowhere in the best possible way. Anywho, so I gotta be perfectly honest with you. I wish we made bingo cards, but even if we did, I don't think either of us would have ever dared put Maria versus Neo on it.
I don't think anyone would have.
Did anybody on the planet even consider that as a thing that might end up happening?
Okay, everyone watching this, comment below. Did you ever see Maria versus Neo coming?
I mean, honestly, I had a hard time even seeing Maria fight, basically in her, current state, in her tiny, old, and shriveled form. But then again, much like Yoda, perhaps I should have saw this as an inevitability. Anyway, Pietro's obviously freaking out.
Although, to be fair, Maria's
Maria
significantly less cartoony.
Oh, absolutely. No. We're not quite there yet, but yeah, it works better with her.
And I just realized the irony of that.
Yeah, I know. So Pietro's trying to get this whole thing up, but Cinder's nonsense managed to knock out one of them stabilizers. So they're just basically in a pretty bad state. Pietro's going to continue to, try and work on that, but, you do what you can. Whereas Penny and Cinder engage in basically an aerial dogfight. It's kind of amazing.
It is.
Penny's purely on the defensive, though. She's just, ducking and dodging and diving.
Hang on, I'm gonna go at this half-speed, because I thought I noticed something.
If you have noticed something, you be letting me know. Man, Cinder's primary method of combat really just kind of boils down to, I got pointy sticks.
Oh! I just noticed in their fight, Cinder dodged one of Penny's lasers.
I mean, that would stand to reason.
Although there are, there's at least one moment where Penny just straight up misses. But...
That's true. She is flying in a sort of panic. They're not exactly the most calibrated shots right now.
Yeah, but there is a point where, Cinder, straight up dodges one.
Fair enough.
So,
well, I mean, look, light speed reaction's kind of a thing in this universe. Just kind of have to work with that. At the very least, maidens can consistently.
Oh no! What? Okay, yeah. Considering the only other character that definitely had it was Pura.
Mm-hmm.
Who Cinder did defeat in a fight.
That's true.
Just saying.
That is true. That is true. So Penny's really just trying to delay Cinder, stop her from doing things. It works for a surprisingly large amount of time, all things considered. Yeah. Because Cinder, I don't know if you know this about Cinder, is really bad at planning things out. But eventually she does catch up on and decides, oh wait, I should probably break the thing. She's trying to distract me.
Yeah.
And she looks so smug about it. It's like, oh, I've uncovered the incredibly hard to figure out thing, as if that weren't blatantly obvious. It's like, man, the person you're fighting won't stop running away and not fighting you. Why?
You know what? Why don't I go back and threaten her dad?
Yeah. But before we do that, Nero versus Maria, and okay,
it's awesome.
I gotta be perfectly... Yeah, it's awesome and wonderful, and it's basically one of the best fights this series has ever had, and I'll tell you why. Because Neo, who up to this point has basically been shown to be this unstoppable badass that's just able to defeat anybody forever, gets her ass completely rocked, and it is amazing.
Yep.
Like there was like the briefest of moments, it like, oh, it looks like Neo's got this handled, but then it turns out that Maria can flip this whole thing around. Like, oh, she's managed to grab Maria and fling her around, but nope, she's got the size. She's back around. She's bipping and bopping and smacking her on the head with a stick, all Rafiki style. It is awesome.
She straight up like foot dives Neo in the face.
Yes, she does, and it is amazing. I will freely admit to watching this part of the episode a good number of times, because man, is it cathartic.
Yeah. Hey, remember back in Volume 6 when Yang called Maria the fenceless old lady? Well, Maria got more hits on Neo than you did, Yang.
By a wide margin. Now, admittedly, we don't know how good Yang would do in a rematch. It's been a long time.
True.
But I'm willing. But still, this is a very funny thing to point out. Yes.
Yeah, I still would like to see a Neo versus Yang rematch.
I'm sure it'll end up happening at some point. Although it is really interesting that in like fan art and fan comics, there's like this inseparable connection between Yang and Neo that people keep putting into these things, when really, as far as the story and the universe is concerned, neither of them seem to give anything resembling a crap about the other.
Yeah, not really.
Like, they fought once, but I don't know how much either of them remember even doing that.
Yeah, I will say one of my favorite ones of those I've seen is like when they have that stare off in Volume 2, but Yang just thinks Neo is really cute.
She is small.
And just pulls her in for a bear hug.
Aw.
But because of the height difference and where Neo's head would end up.
Yeah. Moving on. Cinder's destroying the metal towers to try to destroy this whole thing.
All I was going to say was that she suffocates.
Anyway, large structural damage to the tower is happening, and Cinder is trying to verbally and mentally assault Penny. That doesn't really work.
Not really, although weakening the structures did distract her.
Yeah, it definitely did. And so she's got to use her cool powers to keep the tower all put together, and using ice magics to freeze the thing. Unfortunately, this leaves her open, so Cinder decides, I'm going to take your maiden powers now with my creepy grabby arm. Doesn't work, but it's... Man, apparently losing this stuff really, really, really freaking hurts.
I imagine it would.
I know it would, but I'm just saying, every single time we've seen Cinder use this thing, or anybody lose their maiden powers in this conceivable way, there's always this horrifying, blood-curdling scream.
Yeah, although it's also, I want to say akin to, like, getting your soul sucked out.
At least partially, yeah.
I can't imagine that's a pleasant experience.
No, I really honestly can't. Anyway, luckily Penny is able to use her powers to get Cinder the ever-loving hell off of her. It's actually pretty great. She uses her maiden powers to basically make a new set of swords.
That is really cool.
That's really clever.
Like, they're almost perfect replicas.
Yeah, almost. Not bad for someone who's barely known what she's been doing.
Yeah.
Or at least, hasn't been working with these powers for very long. I mean, it was very creative and on the fly, and it saved her bacon, so massive kudos.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. A very important fact. Yes, Neo just laid out Maria, but Maria was distracted. It happens.
Yeah, and speaking of distracted...
If that fight wasn't interrupted, we know how it would have ended.
And Penny decides to have that ending happen by lasering Neo at the side of the head.
And it was amazing, and she flew, and she slammed into that ship, and her aura immediately went out. She went out like a chump.
I also just want to throw this out there. The laser did not explode upon contact.
No, that's definitely lasery.
Just saying.
No, I get you. You want RWBY characters to be really freaking strong in the grand scheme of things.
Don't you?
Well, yes, obviously, but I'm just saying, it wasn't my first thought. My first thought was, haha, Neo go thud.
Yeah. Although it's also just, just pointing out evidence was like, yeah, this is a thing. And people refuse to accept it.
I know. Any ding-dong way. Neo's been taken out. And Emerald decides, ah, man, it's time for me to start actually being useful. And she thinks she's being all sneaky with her weird little wizardy fingers. But as it turns out, this is like one of the characters where that just literally isn't a thing that ends up being a factor.
Because, wouldn't you know it, Penny's a robot. She can scan people, apparently.
Penny has special eyes. And it's like, well, you know, here's the thing. I know I'm seeing a bunch of you, but only one of you has like a heartbeat and a heat trace and everything. So only one of these can be real. So she uses her awesome scanny powers and just completely. I mean, she wins the fight. She knocks the ever-loving hell out of Cinder, shoots her with a laser, knocks her all the way back to the other side of the arena. She screams in pain. It's pretty awesome. Emerald has a freak out. I don't really care. And Cinder just kind of falls on the ground, plop. She's out.
Yep.
So that's another fight Cinder has completely failed at.
Against another maiden.
Yeah, but can we point out the fact that the only fight really she's won 1v1 was against Pyrrha, and even then, she barely did it.
Yeah, actually.
Seriously, every other time we've seen her win a fight, it's because she had a bunch of people backing her up. Anytime it's ever been one-on-one, she's only won once, and that was against Pyrrha, who didn't have any maiden powers at the time, or at least only a small amount of them, not enough to really account for anything. And even then, she only just barely won that. So, yeah.
Although, to give us at least that little bit of a benefit of the doubt, who's to say how her fight with Raven would have gone if the Null wasn't still alive?
Fair.
Though I guess Yang would have showed up and, well...
Either way, she lost.
Yeah.
That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, and Emerald's like, hey, I know I can't beat you, but I can fill that thing full of holes before you do anything.
Quick question, what thing?
I want to say the machine that Pietro's been working on.
You mean that thing she shot and the bullet bounced off of and didn't do anything? I don't know what Emerald's threat here is.
Or maybe, I don't know, she could have threatened to shoot Pietro.
Yeah, that would have made a whole lot more sense. I'm not 100% sure exactly what Emerald was threatening to make Penny stop, but whatever it is, it seemed to have affected her, and Penny's like, all right, fine, just scoot, which is a shame because, man, do you have any idea, like, and I do mean this, any idea how much of a boon taking out Cinder, Neo, and Emerald out of the equation really would have ultimately been in the end? I get that their character arcs aren't over yet, and you don't want to just toss them out so casually in the middle of everything, but come on.
Yeah, although we have to consider this, like, if Penny did kill Cinder, then
she
Penny...
would have gotten double maiden powers, and maybe the next thing that happens would have gone better.
Or maybe the next thing would be even worse.
That's fair, you know what? It could have gone either way, so maybe.
I want to say even worse given the implications.
Yes, yeah, you know, that's fair. Regardless, villains get their asses kicked and are now forced to leave. And Neo is, once again, pretty fed up with literally all of this. The betrayal is coming, I assure you. I don't know when, I don't know how, but Neo is definitely going to get sick of this crap eventually, because nobody treats her with any amount of decency.
Not really, no.
I mean, when you get right down to it, the only reason she started working for Cinder was because, wow, all right, I guess you can kill me. Don't want to mess with that.
You know, if this keeps going enough, watch her turn good purely out of spite.
That would be hilarious. Like I said, at the very least, she could eventually turn neutral and be just like, all right, you know what? I just kind of want self-preservation here. And I was like, I'm siding with the team that, you know, has a better chance of winning. And eventually, that is going to be the heroes. God only knows when, but eventually.
I'm siding with the protagonists.
That's exactly it. That's the smart call. Anyway, so while the villains are gone and defeated, and that is all well and good and great, the whole tower situation isn't doing so great.
No, it's not. It's dropped out of the sky and they've missed their window.
Yeah, so basically their entire plan has failed, and the end of the series. Kind of a bummer, ain't it?
Cue the credits.
Yeah, except nah, Penny has a plan. She's basically going to fly out there and push it into place.
Yeah, and
But as awesome as that sounds, Pietro is less than enthused because it seems like everybody in the room is under the impression, fair enough, that doing so would probably end poorly for Penny.
yeah, and like I'll give kudos to his line. Like, I don't care about the big picture. I care about my daughter.
No, I completely understand his perspective, and he did have to watch her die once.
Yeah. So I don't know if I would be able to ask this of Pietro.
No, I really can't. But at the same time, I mean, that's kind of why Maria isn't really. She's there, and she's made her stance known, but she's also like, I mean, she looks at that and goes, well, yeah, I mean, fair enough. That's that is pretty bad. And basically, Pietro says that he only wants to see Penny live her life. And Penny says to him that is what she is trying to do. And you know what? When you come back with a line like that, there's really not a whole lot else you can say. You kind of got to let her do the thing.
Yeah, this is a pretty damn heartfelt and emotional scene.
Yeah, I wish I could sell it better, but people who are watching this saw it, so they understand. They know.
Yeah.
And Maria smiles solemnly.
And the captions have somber music.
Yeah, somber music plays in the distance. And Penny, as she flies out, and well, she looks over everything. The bads, the goods, the everything.
Yeah. Okay, I know, like, the soundtrack is just, like, for our benefit, but could you imagine if the characters actually hear all the songs that are being played while everything's happening?
Weiss, why are you singing all the time?
That's not me!
Sounds like you. I was like, I know, it's weird.
No, maybe, like, Ruby's rocking out because the song is just such a banger.
I was like, well, damn. I was like, oh, man, everything's gone horribly. We should get out of here. Nah, the music is really triumphant. I think we got this. Again, we laugh to hide the pain because Penny pretty much is looking over things. Is like, yeah, I'm probably going to die.
I mean, she has a great view when she looks at the sky, though.
No, she does. She gets to see that busted up moon. And she's like, all right, here we go. She flies down to the bottom and she starts a pushing. And wouldn't you know it, she succeeds in pushing it.
Yeah. And, yeah, boy.
Yeah, so feats of strength, this is most certainly an impressive one.
Yeah, and, so...
I'm pretty sure this is the most impressive, like, feat of strength we've seen a character perform on this show.
Oh, absolutely, and,
I figure the gods teleporting thing to break the moon doesn't really count.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, and also them just wiping out all life on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really count. As far as, like, protagonists and villains are concerned, I think this is the strongest thing we've seen anybody ever do.
Yeah, in terms of physical strength.
Yeah.
Like, you've also got, like, them creating or moving storm clouds, so... there's that in terms of just power.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unquantifiable, because most people don't really understand how clouds work.
I need to shout out Proboscis here, because he brought to my attention that someone actually calculated this feat.
That's how the amount of power that it would take for Penny to have pushed this gigantic tower into position for as long as she did.
Yeah, and basically they count Amity Arena to weigh over 2 billion tons, which, honestly, given looking at it, that seems about right.
It's really big. There's a lot of metal in there. I could believe it.
Yep, and considering how high she flies it up, the energy needed to do this would be over 7 megatons.
So, that's nothing to sneeze at. And when was the last time we've seen Penny expel this much energy at once? That's right. when she tackle hugged RWBY. RWBY can survive 7 megatons confirmed. She got up like it was nothing.
And you know what? Weiss, Blake, and Yang would probably scale to that.
So there you go. Megaton level.
Confirmed. By us.
Indeed. You heard it here first, folks. Anyway, so Penny is able to she did it. I can't say words right now, but she successfully did the thing. She got the tower into position, they're able to send out the message, and RWBY's adorable face is broadcast to the entire damn planet.
Yeah. Also, okay, the captions that I'm reading don't bring this up. But before RWBY's message starts, you can actually hear Blake in the background just like, okay, go, we're recording.
Yeah. No, you can sort of actually straight up hear that if you listen closely.
Yeah. And I like that little detail.
Yes, it's very amateurish. RWBY is understandably nervous, but she's got a message for the world. It's like, well, if everything worked out, hi, I'm RWBY. I am a huntress, and boy howdy, do I have a tale to tell you. So as it turns out, there's this god sort of person named Salem, and she's the one who created the Grimm, and she's been fighting humanity for pretty much all of it. And okay, so she's very evil, and obviously she created the Grimm, so, that's a bit of a problem, and we want to stop her. Problem is, she's kind of immortal, and I know that's going to freak you out, but don't worry. I mean, just because somebody can't be killed doesn't mean they can't be beaten and sealed away in a rice cooker or something. I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
Someone just, like, Roshi just shows up, evil containment wave.
We all joke, but that would work.
That would, actually, yeah.
Work.
You know what, I remember...
Master Roshi falls into the RWBY universe and solves a lot of problems real fast.
I remember making a joke, like, when we first found out about Salem being immortal and how she can just regen from nothing. Like, oh, so even a Dragon Ball character disintegrating wouldn't kill her. Meanwhile, Roshi's here, like...
I've got a solution to that. Anyway.
Oh, by the way, in case anyone decides to bring up Beerus's Hakai, Hakai doesn't work with immortal beings.
It's true.
So,
and seeing as how it's based off, like, I don't know, a godly reason why she's immortal forever, that probably applies.
Yeah.
Sealing her away, though, that would definitely fly.
And in all seriousness, Salem wouldn't be able to even scratch Beerus, just throwing it out there.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, look, I love RWBY, but the low-tier Dragon Ball characters are still going to whoop a major ass here.
Yeah.
Point being, RWBY's getting her message out there, and apparently it's a really strong message because it overrides literally everything, and I think it might even turn on some devices if they weren't turned on before. That's impressive. And we get basically a
cameos.
Gargantuan tidal wave of these things.
Yep. Starting with Saffron, Terracotta, and their son Adrian.
It's true. It's true. It's pretty great. It's nice to see them again. They're obviously not looking too good because the situation is bad.
I love how Adrian's just happy to see RWBY.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah.
But then we see Whitley. He's sulking because that's kind of his thing.
Oh, and I saw people bring this up. Remember when Weiss told Whitley to go to his room?
Yes.
Well, he's in Jock's office.
Yeah. So
that's concerning.
Make of that what you will, I guess. I don't know. Either way, Whitley is definitely contemplating something. So, look, just because I think he's a little butthead doesn't mean I don't think that he can't be a good guy if he wants to be. I'm willing to let him. I'm just saying, if you want to change, now's the time. Yeah. And we go to that. We go to the crater. We see, Hans. He's learning about this. Everyone there is like, oh dang, that's some dire news we're learning.
And then
we
Vacuo.
get okay. We get the junior detectives, and here's the thing about Sun and Neptune about this shot that's just so freaking hilarious to me. Okay,
I think I know what you're about to say.
They are just standing out in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
Yeah, well, at least like one of them gets a line, and I think it's Neptune just going, "Dude."
It's like, wow. We kind of had a small idea of what's going on, but not like that. And again, just really look at it. Look at this. At best, you might have read the book that details some of the things they've been up to in the time between we last saw them and now.
Mm-hmm.
But I assume they're in Vacuo.
Yeah, they are.
But they're just standing in the middle of the desert. What were they doing there before their scrolls went off?
I'm considering this takes place after the book. I have no freaking idea.
Still. Yeah, I'm just saying, still. It's funny.
Yeah. Also,
Anyway.
where are Scarlet and Sage? Like, oh, right,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Team Sun only has 2 members in the show.
Yeah. I don't know. If I had to guess, they probably don't have upgraded models.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, that's just my best guess. It's like, well, we can't use the old ones. Anyway, there's Ilya.
Yay, Ilya!
I'm surprised. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I legitimately thought we would never see her ever again. And she's getting a call from Gira.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I thought Ilya was in Menagerie.
Is she not?
Now, look at the mountains. There's all, like, foliage and even snow.
What?
That ain't Menagerie.
Huh.
So are they still in
Where's she?
Mistral?
Where's she at, girl?
I'm guessing Mistral.
Where you at, Ilya? Where you at, you crazy chameleon girl? Where you at? I don't know. Well, considering the fact that Gira's got her on scroll phone and whatnot, I don't know. I assume she's probably a somewhat high-ranking member of whatever it is the Gira ultimately established. And I don't know, maybe she's on some kind of mission or something?
Possibly.
Either way, no matter how you look at it, the fact that this information has reached Gira, and his immediate response after hearing all of this was to, call Ilya, I like to think that he's planning something. I don't know what, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And I'm down with seeing Gira kick more ass, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, Pura is one of... sorry, not Pura. Gira is one of the 2 good dads in this show.
I don't know, man. I think Pura would make a fantastic father.
If only she got the chance.
Sure. Anyway, nice to see them.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was a weird. Anyway, well, that was a really awkward moment to pause. Penny is still pushing stuff. She pushes her back to it, and am I wrong, or can you? This is such a weird thing to bring up, especially now. Looks like you can just look straight up her dress.
Oh my god, you can.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is she rocking just Barbie doll anatomy here?
I think so.
Look, I'm aware that this is a weird thing to bring up, and I'm sorry, but I'm noticing it. I have to point it out. Did they not think that this was... Did they not notice that this was a shot what they were doing? Because it doesn't even look like she's wearing underwear.
Also, if the Barbie doll anatomy is the case, I'm actually kind of glad, because if not, I'd have questions for Pietro. Which I'm not sure I would even want answers to, so let's move on.
Yeah, let's do ourselves, the audience, and the world a favor and just pretend that none of that ever came up. She's still pushing the tower and doing a damn good job of it.
And
then...
Of all cameos...
Yo, back to the cameos.
Old man Shopkeep!
Old man Shopkeep. Seeing him again? Fantastic. Seeing Glinda? I'm gonna be entirely honest. I did not think that was even feasible.
Same.
Jury's still out if we'll ever actually see her speak in any capacity ever again, but...
She would need recasting, though.
I'm aware. That's why I said that. But, yeah,
I mean, they've been able to, like, work around Tex in Red vs. Blue, so...
Yeah, no, it's totally doable. Anyway, the reason that we're actually seeing her specifically is because RWBY actually specifically name drops her as somebody who can verify the stuff that she's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and she also name drops Headmaster Theodore.
Yeah. So, there you go. It's like, well, which really does make me wonder, because obviously I don't know if he would have known had Glinda kept her voice actress and all of that stuff, and maybe none of that awkwardness would have happened. But how much did Glinda know?
I mean, she at the very least knew about the relics, the maidens, Salem.
She wasn't at the very top tier echelon of knowledge, but she knew a lot. I don't know. Anyway, it is nice to see her again.
Yeah.
But it's pretty great if RWBY is like part of this thing. It's like, all right, so I know that I'm just some random girl who's hijacked all of your televisions, so maybe you don't believe me, but hey, talk to these people. They're probably going to be able to vouch for me, and it's all going to make a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ironwood has gone completely banana crazy, man.
Before we get to that, though, I kind of want to just shout episode 1 when of RWBY.
The very first one?
Yeah, when RWBY meets Glenda and is like, "Can I have your autograph?" Well, now RWBY's on worldwide TV name-dropping Glenda.
That's true. Getting that RWBY publicity bump. And shout out to the fact, I don't even know if RWBY fully understands the implications that basically everybody on the planet is aware of her existence to some degree now.
Oh boy.
I feel like that's going to get referenced at least a couple times at some point in the future.
Like, at the very least, like, yeah, they know who RWBY is. They're not gonna know, like, well, a good chunk of people are gonna know who Weiss is.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent if they follow that sort of thing, but anyway. Yeah, so RWBY is basically amounting to, okay, so don't trust Ironwood, though, because he's gone insane and is trying to kill everyone. I mean, not technically, but he is.
Yeah. Oh.
And obviously, we cut to him, and he turns off the TV.
Oh, well, Harriet's the one who turns off the TV, but...
Yeah, I know, but he implied the command.
Yeah, but look at this shot of the Aesops before Harriet turns off the TV. Marrow's smiling at the message.
Let me see here. Oh, damn, yeah, you're right.
But then as it turns
Nero
off, he's sad.
It's like, oh. But she was cute, though. That's not why, but it's funny to me.
That is funny.
At the same time, it could also be, it's like, I've seen dogs that really enjoy when the TV is turned on, and when it gets turned off, they get sad and stop wagging their tail. I've seen that happen, too. So, maybe he just likes TV.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, shiny colors. Point is, the real intention of saying all that was, Nero is a good guy, doesn't want to be doing bad guy stuff. He's gonna turn on the Aesops at some point.
Please.
Although, I forget her name. Big gal.
Elm.
Yeah, Elm, like, specifically is, like, eyeing Nero in that exact same shot. It's like, what you thinking? What you gonna do?
Oh, yeah, she is.
So, I don't know. I feel like she's at least partially aware of Nero not being super all in on this plan.
She thinks Marrow is sus.
I did see him vent.
Eject him. Marrow was not the imposter.
Well, damn. Anyway, so,
references to a game I cannot play.
Yeah, me neither. Anyway, Watts is fiddling around with one of those stolen penny swords. Turns out they're all connected basically to the same stuff, so if he fiddles with one of them, he can fiddle with all of them.
Yeah, which, oh boy. Does not spell, good things.
So, bad news, I guess. Basically, okay, well, first of all, Tyrion is being pet by Salem like he's a freaking Labrador, which is weird. But, they're also apparently aware of the fact that the message got sent out, and Salem doesn't seem even mildly pulsed by that. I'm hoping the implication is, good, they know about me. This means they'll panic now. And, maybe that'll set up the whole them not doing that thing and it going against her hopes. I kind of doubt it. But I'd like something to not go right for Salem once, just maybe.
I mean, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, then we cut to Nora, who is apparently significantly more injured than I actually anticipated.
Yeah, like, she's bandaged up all over.
She is practically a mummy. This poor Nora girl. And, man, those scars run deep.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
And, although, at the same time, shout out to Weiss, who is holding Nora's hand as she rests.
Yep. And
because I physically refuse to not compliment Weiss in every conceivable episode, even if she's only there for 7 seconds.
Just like how I always compliment Blake, who's the one holding up the message, as RWBY leans on her shoulder. With that
can we
face.
Can we briefly, just briefly, take a step back, because we're about to talk about a sad thing. Just look at this picture and how freaking adorable it is. Out of context, look how happy Blake and even Weiss end up. Look at Ruby's, quite frankly, face of pure wonder. It's like, what is this strange device you hold, Blake?
Also, yeah, you pointed out, like, when we first went over the opening, man, Blake is tall.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I always knew she was basically second tallest, but seriously. But so they're watching it. Ruby is entranced by herself. Make of that what you will. Maybe she's like a parakeet looking at a mirror. I don't know. Because time for the sadness, because Watts has officially hacked Penny.
Yeah, and this scene is a bit painful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we're just kind of gonna have to go through it. The hacking briefly knocks Penny out of alignment, and she tries to fly back up to push it, but this force is definitely taking over her.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, she does try to fight the hack, but
She does admirably, and she's trying to keep it into position. And we get our final cameo. Luckily, even though Ruby's message is ultimately interrupted, she did get all of the information, and it seemed like she was at the tail end of her little speech anyway. So everything that really needed to get out got out.
Yeah,
But final cameo.
It's Tai.
It's Tai Yang, and boy howdy, is he distraught.
Yeah, because, like, from his perspective, that's the first time he's seen Ruby in how long?
Yeah, I have absolutely no. I mean, we don't even know if he ever even got any letters.
Yeah.
Here's hoping that maybe, just maybe, possibly, this spurs Tai Yang into action, maybe?
And there is a way that this could happen. Or, like,
How so?
I mean, in terms of him getting there.
Explain your face, Mr. British man.
Okay, remember that post-credit scene in Volume 5?
With Summer? No, not Summer. Raven?
Yeah, with
Would you-
Raven
like- would
showing
you, like,
up at that house. Or at least flying by it.
Right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the implication being she made a portal to Tai Yang to get away from other Yang. And,
Yeah,
I mean, that was the implication I had.
Yeah, and there's like a theory that, oh, maybe she's like staying with Tai at the moment, and who knows, they could be working out some stuff. I don't know. So
I doubt it, but hope maybe. I mean, dare to dream.
yeah. Raven could get him to Atlas like that.
It's true. They would just have to get a portal to Crow or Yang, but I feel like Crow would be the first choice.
Yeah. And then they'd break him out of prison.
I mean, it's unlikely, but boy howdy, would it be cool.
But Crow's like, wait, take this Robin, go with us.
Indeed.
I like her,
Dangerous to
she's
go
a good.
alone. Yeah, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Hands over all of Robin.
Although I also saw like someone make a fan comic of like when Tai is all distraught. Raven just busts through the door like, okay, I got ice cream and Doritos. Did I miss anything important?
Okay, that's pretty great. Yo, what I missed.
She was just
Also,
shopping this whole time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, all right, well, you know what, fair enough. I was under the impression that she was definitely not staying with him, but was just, fleeing the general area. She could still be in the general area, though. We'll see. Obviously, we're going to see Raven again at some point.
Yeah, also, she has a scroll, so she'd have probably seen the message.
No, absolutely. Basically, ultimately, I really just want to see Tai Yang do stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we saw him train Yang, sorta, but that's not really him going all out. And we've seen what Crow and Raven can do. I want to see what Tai Yang can do. I mean, the dad of Yang Zhao Long's got to be something.
Yeah. Or if we don't...
I know also Ruby, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, like...
He's the one who taught her.
Yeah, although, if we don't get Tai Yang fighting in this show, can we get, like, a Team Stark prequel series?
Something. Give us a bone.
Like,
Speaking of a bone,
cool.
we would be remiss if we didn't say that also Zwei was here.
Yeah, and he comforts Tai.
He does.
That's
he is
a good boy.
doggo. He's a good doggo. Pat, pat.
Hmm.
Any ding dong way. So yeah, Penny is still very much hacked, and she's doing her best, but it is not working. So what do you do when everything kind of falls through?
Oh, and
Let the atmosphere eat you.
I've only just noticed she's actually saying that she has to go to the vault, but she's also like fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then when she calls out, "Dad," that's painful.
Yeah, and
Right in the feels.
Penny basically kind of lets go and falls back down to Earth, or Remnant, and the physics does what physics do, and she is consumed by the fiery friction of re-entry.
Yeah, but she gets one last word in before cutting off.
Yeah, she tells Pietro that she loves him.
Oh, right in the feels again.
Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, and obviously Pietro mourns. The fact of the matter is, first and foremost, we cut back to the Aesops and Ironwood and Watts. And Ironwood's kind of miffed about the whole thing because Penny's signal's getting all wonky now. And ultimately, the thing is, we have no real reason to think that Penny is dead.
Nah, she's not dead.
So she's not dead. I feel like that would be, unfortunately, as awful as this sounds, too easy.
By the way,
because if this was how Penny died, boy, it sure would make what's going to end up happening later a whole lot less awful, but...
yeah, also, like, that would kind of not be such a great death.
No, it wouldn't. Although, I have to be completely honest with you, I was briefly, for the smallest of moments as I saw this, and thinking that maybe this was how Penny was going to die, I was waiting. It was like, okay, Penny knows how the maiden powers work. Is she gonna deliberately start thinking about somebody?
Then the question is, it'd probably be RWBY.
It would more than most likely be RWBY. Because I feel like, okay, she realizes that, so she's like, all right, I'm about to die. Someone's got to get these powers. Who should get them? And whatever. Ultimately, I figured it would probably end up being RWBY. That's not how it would go. It went, but also not impossible for later. Dark, but possible.
Yeah.
Because basically,
we were saying the same thing about Winter last volume.
Yes, absolutely, we were. However, Winter was never the actual maiden, so.
Yeah, but we were always like theorizing if she gets the powers, but then it looks like she's gonna die. She's gonna think of Weiss, and then, yeah.
I mean, boy, it would certainly be odd for RWBY to become the Winter Maiden, but it's not impossible. And the point I'm trying to get at here is, I foresee, and the writers are more than welcome to throw the curveballs at me to make that completely invalidated, because I actually like being surprised. But what I'm interpreting this is, eventually, heroes are going to reach that vault, or they're going to confront the bad guys in some capacity, and we're going to get basically a T-1000 Penny, all charred and busted up, going up against them.
Huh.
Try and tell me that wouldn't really completely destroy you mentally and emotionally.
I can't.
And at that point, it's basically a mercy kill.
Yeah. The best I can really say for that situation is going back to the stat stuff.
Yeah. I mean, well, take comfort in whatever you can, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I foresee it. Eventually, they're gonna run into her. It's not gonna be happy. They're gonna have to fight, and one reason or another, can't beat the hacking. RWBY has to, or maybe Penny's able to fight it off enough to tell RWBY to kill her.
Oh god.
I'm just saying, that would be an emotional punch. This show sure does love those. But the fact is, I'm able to predict that ends up not being the case. So maybe I'm completely off base. I'm just saying, you can't say that's not a possibility.
I mean, remember all the stuff we called in Volume 6?
True.
So, it's possible.
Anyway, point is, I Ironwood is basically of the mind. All right, well, we gotta find whatever's left of her ultimately, and Winter is sent out on the job.
Yeah. And also, Ironwood throws this scroll, Watts, who just, like, deflects it.
Yeah, and then later, when nobody is noticing, he yoinks it.
I will give credit to Watts. Good reflexes there.
No, absolutely, but yeah, then he yoinks and pockets the thing, and it's probably not going to end well. But then again, the instant we learned that Watts was in fact not dead was basically the first sign of, oh, something terrible is going to happen because of him.
Yeah.
And it will be Ironwood's fault.
By the way, did you notice that Watts also, like, grabs the toolkit he was using? And, like, pickpockets that too?
Yeah, no, basically he's got tools and he's got a piece of technology. We know how his powers work. We know how smart he is with this stuff. He's going to cause some serious problems.
Yeah, he's going to hack the prison, bust out, and then he's going to control Penny like a puppet.
Yeah, basically. And we end off the episode by cutting back to Yangjian and Ren. And they're like, hey, why did the message stop? That's not good. And then they start hearing some stuff. They go and inspect it. And okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, out of all the very things that giant crack in the ground that we saw at the end of the last episode could have ended up being, I did not anticipate this.
Nor did I. And, well, I don't think anyone did.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not a grim spawning pool?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, like the ones we saw Salem make Grim out of all the way back. So, that's incredibly alarming.
Yeah. And, I've seen some people bring this up. Like, this might be some, Greek mythology symbolism.
I could see that being possible.
Yeah, like, the river... I'm gonna butcher this name, and I apologize.
It's okay, do your best.
Styx?
The river Styx?
Styx, that's it.
Ah.
I've never heard that before, okay? Give me some slack.
No, hey, did I insult you at any time?
Okay, I'm also just anticipating the audience, like, you know.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I got your back. It's okay. Sometimes there are just words you've never heard. It's fine. But yeah, actually, the River of Styx, basically the river of the damned and dead souls. Pretty apt metaphor, if we're being entirely honest. And obviously, it's not good because this thing is leading all the way back to Atlas.
Yeah. Also, just throwing this out there.
They were already having a Grim problem, and now they're going to have an endless supply of them.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, it's not.
And unfortunately, that's where the episode ends, and I have to ask you a question. Does the mid-season hiatus start now, or after the next one?
Oh, okay, so we're recording this, like, the day before Chapter 6 comes out.
So, Chapter 6 is coming out?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Chapter 6 is...
No, the hiatus starts after 7.
Okay, so we get 2 more episodes before we have to wait a few months.
Yeah. And
okay.
Fun fact, Chapter 7 will be RWBY's 99th episode.
Yeah.
So the first episode of RWBY we get in the year 2021 will be episode 100.
I'm going to be honest, because of the way that the volumes and episodes are structured, I never...
Could you repeat that? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, you cut out on my end.
Yes, my internet seemed to have died momentarily. Let's take that as a sign and start wrapping things up.
Okay. But anyway, your point was?
Where did I cut off?
Right before you made your point. About,
I don't know.
the way the volumes are structured.
Oh, right. I had no idea that the how many episodes there had even been, because of the way that the volumes are structured with the episodes and everything. I had no idea that that we were close to episode 100, or if we'd already passed it. I had no idea. I'd completely lost track and hadn't thought about it.
Same.
So who knows what episode 100 is going to be? Maybe it'll just be another episode, nothing super special about it. We'll see.
Yeah, and who knows what they could end 99 off of.
Yeah, I'm worried, personally. I'm glad that this isn't the way that it's going to end until February, though.
Yeah. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I have no problem with Rooster Teeth waiting until February to resume this.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, the world is on fire, and everything is difficult, and they're just doing what they can and doing their best, and... Okay, so there's going to be a delay. I imagine this episode's pretty hard to put this show's hard to put together.
Yeah, when everyone's working from home and no one's in the same office together.
Yeah, so whatever, it's all good. It's a bummer, but we'll deal.
Yeah. It's not like there's other stuff to watch in the meantime.
Exactly. So, it'll all work out. That being said, that was Volume 8, Episode 5, Amity. A lot of sad stuff. I mean, we got to see some awesome stuff, admittedly. So it wasn't complete depression.
Yeah. And
although it's set up, it has set things up in a way that could get very depressing very fast.
Yeah.
This show sure likes sowing those seeds of sadness.
Though we did get to see Weiss and Blake very briefly, which
yes, we did.
Made
and you know what?
Us happy.
Yep, that's really all that ultimately matters in the end. As long as Weiss and Blake make it out of this, we're okay.
You know what? I'll tell you off camera, but there's something I'm thinking about introducing the show as at some point.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that on our own time.
Yeah. Whether or not that happens in a future discussion, maybe subscribe, stick around, and find out.
Yeah, maybe watch our videos and stuff. I don't friggin' know.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Especially considering I looked at my analytics and over 80% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed to me, so...
Wow, that's just rude.
Yeah, so, if you watch these, why not subscribe?
Maybe do that thing. Do that thing.
Just click the button. Yeah.
Just click the damn button.
Don't have to search up my videos anymore.
Click the damn button.
I was starting to go for an old Family Guy reference there.
Yeah, I started noticing it.
Yeah.
Best to stop that before it gets too far.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't really have anything else to say. We just have to wait for the next episode to happen and hope that nothing too terribly bad happens. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll see
hope
what
you
happens.
All enjoy. Yeah, we hope you all enjoyed the discussion, and we'll see you all very soon.
Goodbye.
Haters.